So this one is just annoying. This one is just annoying. And it's always annoying to hear the number one Caitlin Clark hater constantly bring up Caitlin Clark in a negative light. And it's like, it's one of these like, try not to take a shot at Caitlin Clark level impossible. And it's one of those things now where you've got what you call it. You've got Caitlin Clark, who is obviously a player who's been injured, but there is just this weird like old guard that's trying to put her down at every chance. And we heard it with Carolyn Peck. I was watching South Carolina, and Michaela Blakes, who what she kind of did is you know the way like the kind of move that players make. Caitlin Clark's actually very good at it, where it's like Luca is probably the best I've seen at it, where they kind of drive in and they don't fully extend their armbar. Like if it's fully extended armbar, it's an offensive foul. But it's like you get the same outcome where it's like you move your arm a little bit. You kind of drive in, and Caitlin does it in her two steps where she almost uses it for her balance, where she kind of goes in with two hands, kind of makes contact, and then finishes up through you. Like that's something Caitlin's really good at. And Luca's the best I've ever seen at it. The kind of just the bump, the bump before the layup. And it's what every player does it. LeBron does it. Everyone does it. And Carolyn Peck, Michaela Blakes did it. And Carolyn Peck is talking. And by the way, if you guys don't know who Carolyn Peck is the person who keeps insisting the Fever are better without Caitlin Clark. And ironically, she is somebody who is basically the coaching mentor and has coached with plenty of times Stephanie White. It is one of those things where like you just know that like she's just somebody, like Peck is just somebody that does not believe Caitlin Clark is a positive basketball player. And that's, you know what, that's okay to do. You don't have to believe Caitlin Clark is a good basketball player, but when you're on commentary for a South Carolina versus thing game, and Michaela Blakes makes a good basketball move, and she goes, she does the Caitlin Clark. She does the Caitlin Clark, and it's like, I mean, if the refs don't call it, she says something like, if the refs don't call it, it's not a foul. Basically being like, yeah, Caitlin Clark fouls all the time. She did it. She committed an offensive foul. She did the Caitlin Clark. And I'm like, first of all, like, you're trying to almost say that as a negative. Like, she did not say that move with Michaela Blakes as a positive. That was not a way of complimenting Michaela Blakes. It was basically her saying Michaela Blakes committed an offensive foul. And instead of just saying that, she was like, maybe it's on the line of being an offensive foul. No, she had to make sure to bring up Caitlin Clark. Because again, this is someone, and by the way, the funniest thing that I am about this all is that people think that you have to be positive and you can't be negative towards Caitlin Clark. Carolyn Peck is absolutely well within her right to believe that. Just like, again, a lot of people said she was proven right, that they were better without Caitlin Clark because of the playoffs. And I'm like, I mean, they're like, oh, they didn't win the playoffs last year. It's like, well, yeah, that Connecticut Sun team from 2024 beats every single team in the playoffs this year. Like, you look at the playoffs this year, the Atlanta Dream choked. They choked. Like, the Fever had no right to win. Like, game 2, they were terrible, and the Fever had no right to win game 3, and they just choked. The Dream absolutely choked. In the semifinals, the Aces basically, they didn't lay down for the Fever. The Fever's had this never say die attitude. Like, the Fever nearly pulled it back with a lineup of Bree Turner, KK Timpson, Shea Petty, Lexi Hull, and Odyssey Sims. Like, that was the lineup nearly got Fever back into it. Like, if that's the logic, that the playoff series proves you right, or playoff prove you right, then the best the Fever looked was with Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin Clark on the bench. It means they all kind of suck. But it's one of those things, like, where you're well within your right to think that, but there's no, like, when Caitlin played, the Indiana Fever were a 3rd seed. When Caitlin didn't play, the Indiana Fever, until those last 4 games of the year, where teams kind of rolled over for them, like, the Indiana Fever were sub 500 without Caitlin Clark. They had a much better record with her. But at the end of the day, like, it's just one of those things you just keep hearing. And it's the same people. It's like fucking Cheryl Swoops, when obviously before Cheryl Swoops was basically they got rid of her from the Dallas Wings. It is one of those things where Cheryl Swoops just kept going at her. And it's like, in Unrivaled, nobody in women's basketball does it more than Marina Mabrey, by the way. It's the only thing Marina Mabrey can do. She's not fast enough to burn anybody. Marina Mabrey either shoots a 25-footer, which she shoots terribly. Like, if you think Caitlin Clark shoots them badly, Marina Mabrey's much worse. Or she dribbles, shoulder, armbar. Like, Caitlin doesn't even do it that often in comparison. It's one of those things where it's like, and she basically wanted to say, instead of saying Michaela Blake's, she thinks Michaela Blake's did an offensive foul, she has to go and take a shot at Caitlin for a game that has nothing to do with her. And a player that has nothing to do with her. It's just weird. It is really just weird. Look, that being said, yeah, we're at least in the situation now where it's well, I mean, where you're starting to mention that, and basketball seems to be at the top of things. And I don't think this is a personal shot, by the way. Like, you will not see me go and say that Carolyn Peck is making it not about basketball, because these are absolutely, when it comes to Carol Peck, these are absolutely basketball takes. They are basketball takes. And even if I don't agree with them, that's fine. I don't agree with them. I think they're dumb takes. But she's allowed to have a basketball take. The only thing is that when it comes down to it, is like, why are there just constant shots at Caitlin Clark? And this is a game where it's Michaela Blake's and Vanderbilt versus South Carolina, in a game where South Carolina had to come back after a lot of question marks. Like, the way South Carolina played in their last game, the way they played against Oklahoma, like, everyone was questioning them. And a lot of people, again, they're questioning a lot of players on this team. And all of a sudden, they go and beat the undefeated Vanderbilt by 30. By 30, which is big, which matters a lot. No matter what people say, that matters a lot. It's a huge game for South Carolina. And I'm not going to say this overshadowed it, because it didn't. This was a throwaway line. This was an absolute throwaway line that would be nothing if it wasn't coming from Carolyn Peck. And am I looking too much into this? Possibly. Absolutely possibly. It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating seeing any time Carolyn Peck has anything to do with the Fever, she will take a shot at Caitlin Clark. Anytime Carolyn Peck has anything to do. And the worst part is, like, you don't even have to like her as a player. It's like, there are times where you're just saying, okay, you've just got to go and what you call it, like, just not talk about her for this one game. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.